What's going on YouTube? Ferocity here. I hope you guys are doing well. Now, since I've been kind of out of the loop when it comes to Call of Duty, I just found out that Sledgehammer Games is creating a game for Call of Duty 2023. And I have to ask the question as to what are they doing at Activision? What is their plans for Call of Duty? Because I got the impression, and I think a lot of people in this community got the impression, that Modern Warfare 2 was going to be a 2-year Call of Duty game. And that was one of the big reasons why I went on and bought it. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to give it a fair shot. That's one of the reasons why I came back to it when Ranked Play came out. But finding out that it's not a 2-year game, I have to ask, where's this year's game? Because I'm sorry, right now, with the current state of Modern Warfare 2, this still isn't a complete game. And it's been out for 4 months. So what, are we going to get the complete game finally in July and August? Like, that's not fair to the community. That's not fair to the fans. And you know what? I'm seeing more and more people recognize it and realize that the game in its current state isn't enough, isn't good enough. And if we're not going to be expected to get the full game, the completed version of what Modern Warfare 2 is supposed to be, until July or August or even September potentially, I don't see anybody going out and buying Sledgehammer Games' new game. I just don't. I don't see it as a possibility. And frankly, that's kind of the sentiment I'm getting from people online, whether it's YouTube videos I'm watching, things I'm reading on Reddit and Twitter. People are pissed. They feel like Infinity Ward and Activision bait and switched them. They told them what they wanted to hear with Call of Duty finally going to 2-year life cycle, and they pulled the rug out from under them and basically said, no, we're going to go with this other game made by a studio that no one has confidence in. I'm going to tell you this from someone who's bought every single Call of Duty game since Modern Warfare 2. Actually, yeah, sorry, Modern Warfare 2, because I didn't buy World at War. Since Modern Warfare 2. If Sledgehammer Games produces a game this fall that is not an extension or an expansion on Modern Warfare 2, I'm not buying it. And I'll tell you why. Number one, Black Ops Cold War. That's number one. That's the number one reason. Okay? They were supposed to create a Call of Duty that year and couldn't figure it out in time. So then Treyarch had to swoop in and give us Black Ops Cold War. And granted, I love Black Ops Cold War. I think it's a fine Call of Duty game. I know not everybody agrees with me. I think it's a good Call of Duty game. I think it has its flaws. I think it missed some potential. But can I really blame Treyarch when they had to pick up the ball from Sledgehammer? No, I can't. I can't blame them for that, because they still released a more competent and complete version of Call of Duty than what we got in Vanguard or what we got with Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2. It's kind of a joke, really, that Black Ops Cold War, in my opinion, released in a more stable state, in a more complete state than what we got with Modern Warfare 2. It's a bit of a joke, really. And then you look at Vanguard, which was all volume and no substance. They're like, hey, look at all these maps. They're all terrible. I'm sorry, they're all terrible. The gameplay sucked. The game in general was just a disaster. So how do you expect me, somebody who's been around Call of Duty for a very long time, expect to have any confidence in what Activision is telling its developers to do? From a publisher standpoint, Activision is failing its developers. It's setting its developers up to fail. Whether that's Treyarch, whether that's Infinity Ward, or if it's Sledgehammer Games. Because I'll be honest here, I'm probably one of 500 people that actually enjoyed Call of Duty World War II. I thought it was a competent Call of Duty. It had its flaws the same way Black Ops Cold War does. But I think the best Call of Duties have their flaws. But at the end of the day, the core of the game is still good. That's what Cold War had. That's what World War II had. That's what Black Ops 3 had. Black Ops 4 had those issues. But then you get into these other games like Modern Warfare 2019, Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2, Call of Duty Vanguard. These are just fundamentally poorly made Call of Duties. Poorly stabilized, poorly optimized, lack of actual developer intervention, lack of listening to the community, and the list goes on and on and on. To me, it still makes no sense that we're 4 months, 5 months into the game's life cycle and Dead Silence still isn't a perk. That we have this terrible perk system. It's awful. We still have too many options for attachments for guns. It doesn't make any sense to me why you need to have 32 different sights, 17 different grips, 424,327 different foregrips. It makes no sense. It is overcomplicating it for the sake of overcomplicating it. And it, to me personally, is just showing that there isn't enough substance there for them to care. And that they're trying to say that, oh, look at all this extra stuff you get, when at the end of the day, once you find a grip you like, once you find a stock you like, you're not changing off of that. Because why would you have any incentive to try out all the different styles when you can just watch one YouTube video from a pro and be like, that's the stock you're using? That's the stock I'm going to use. And I don't blame you. So it's this lack of real substance that's plaguing Call of Duty, but that comes directly from Activision. And this idea that Sledgehammer Games is going to swoop in and create a game that's going to save the Call of Duty franchise is so beyond short-sighted. And this shows me that people right now in corporate America, or just the corporate world in general, are only looking at things from a very short-sighted lens. And I've been in the corporate world, and I know how a lot of higher-ups think. And for some reason, the pandemic made everybody start viewing things instead of long-sighted and down the road and planning for the future. They decrease that scope to be like, okay, what's happening in the next 3 to 6 months? And that's the problem with Activision right now, is they have no idea how to actually gain momentum so that their next Call of Duty release can be successful. And they're holding themselves back because they want to try to appease these shareholders instead of saying, hey guys, we have a plan to grow the company in the next 5 years. This is the plan, let us execute it. Instead, what they're doing is they're like, well, it's not working, it's not going to plan, let's revert. And it's kind of a joke, really. It realistically is. And they need to figure it out. They need to figure it out. And I don't think the solution is releasing a new Call of Duty game in 2023. That's not the solution. Create an expansion for Modern Warfare 2. Hell, even remaster Modern Warfare 2 from 2009. I think those things are going to do way better for you in the long run with building trust with the community than releasing a brand new title through Sledgehammer Games. And I believe that through my heart of hearts. That is probably the better course of action here. And then after that, release that premium title in 2024 with Treyarch. And let Treyarch take the reins there and really create something special for the community. Because I think there's an opportunity here to gain trust of the community back if you let them know that you're listening to them. But if you continuously listen to the wrong people, the shareholders or the COD dick riders that want to sit there and say that everything Call of Duty is doing is good, that's not the course of action here. Listen to your longtime fans. Listen to your detractors. Listen to the people that are giving you constructive criticism and saying these are the things you need to do better. And if you can do those things better, I think we can gain real momentum into 2023 and beyond into 2024 and really put Call of Duty back on the right track. Because I don't think you have to look too far to see what people think of this game. Look at the pros. They don't like playing the game. Hell, I don't like watching them play the game. It's not that exciting. And granted, the inclusion of ranked play has definitely helped my excitement surrounding this game. I'm enjoying watching the game a little bit more now. But at the end of the day, I'm still sitting here like, this isn't the best that Call of Duty can do. This isn't the best that Activision can do. And I still think it's a bit of a slap in the face to the community that it took them 4 extra months to release ranked play. A month releasing with Season 1, I might be able to understand. But releasing it with Season 2, almost 3 to 4 months after launch, to me is just unacceptable. And we need to hold these companies to a higher standard. And I think that we have an opportunity here to hold Activision to a higher standard and say to them, like, do not release this brand new Call of Duty game in 2023 or it's going to flop. And frankly, I think we should let it flop. If they're going to come at us and they're going to release a new Call of Duty game through Sledgehammer Games, whether it's like Vanguard 2 or Modern Warfare 3 or whatever it might be, and we support it, it's a terrible idea and it's against our best interests moving forward. And I know that the casual fans will buy it and Activision will talk about those numbers, but guess what happens with casual fans? They come and go, they leave. The hardcores, the ones that are here watching YouTube videos from small channels, you guys are the ones that can make the decisions. You guys are the ones that hold the power. Let us take that power back from Activision. Let us let them know that they cannot keep creating lackluster games. They cannot keep creating terrible experiences for the hardcore fans. That's it for today's video. That's all I wanted to talk about, because I'm disappointed with the trajectory that Call of Duty is going in, but I'm mostly disappointed with the fact that it seems like Call of Duty and Activision and Infinity Ward and everybody that's there doesn't seem to look at the big picture. They're so focused on the short term and returning these high-end numbers that they're not thinking about the longevity of Call of Duty and seeing how small actions can actually make it grow the long term. And I know I'm not trying to pretend I'm the smartest guy in the room here. I'm a fucking idiot. But I'm looking at this and saying, there's a bigger picture here that I think Call of Duty can take advantage of if they just get out of their own way. But that's it for today's video. I thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, can you please hit that like button? If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.